Baltimore's skyline used to be lined with steel factories. This is now the only one left, and it's not even American-owned. Russian steel giant Severstal now runs the Sparrows Point mill, which at its peak employed more than 30,000 American steelworkers. Today, there are just 2,500, and they say it's vital that any stimulus measure helps the struggling US manufacturing industry.
We've come from a bankrupt company and from a bankrupt industry, and we've recovered, we've consolidated, we have made the means necessary to become a productive plant, and now we're in this worldwide economic crisis. I think there has to be measures taken to protect the American worker so that we can produce and buy the things that we do produce.
Record job loss figures and news that US factory orders have dropped for the 5th month in a row had spurred some US politicians to urge for protectionist measures in the plan. But on Wednesday night, US senators backed down on legislation that would have forced recipients of the aid to buy American. That sounds like bad news for steel workers in Baltimore, a city that once thrived on heavy industry, but that's now more synonymous with the decay of a bygone era. This is what many of Baltimore's factories now look like. The steady industrial decline over the past half-century or so has pushed many out of business, but some say that buying American isn't necessarily the answer to the country's economic woes. Mark Reuter is a historian specialising on Baltimore's steel industry, and he says the problem hasn't been with consumers.
The steel industry did not start declining because of foreign imports. It was substitute products, namely aluminum and plastics and reinforced concrete, that began taking over markets from steel in the 60s. They lost that market essentially because of lack of innovation and because, beginning in the 60s, they began continually to run to the government.
As US politicians continue to debate who'll get what under the new economic rescue plan, for Baltimore's steel industry, it'll take more than a stimulus package to return to its former glory. Sebastian Walker, Al Jazeera, Baltimore.